Hello, good morning. Thought I'd do something a bit different today and bring you along for a long run. I've been thinking about it recently, and I think all of my more recent videos have been very sit down, talk to the camera, scripted, and I'm not sure if I enjoy doing that, and I'm not sure if you guys enjoy seeing it. So if you could do me a favour and let me know in the comments below what your opinion is on this vlog style of video compared to the sit down and talk to the camera, that'd be great. So the purpose of this video is to show you what I take out on a long run with me generally. I've got an hour and 40 minutes on the plan today, not a particular pace or anything like that, just yeah, a long aerobic run really. So the first thing that I carry with me, only been recent because of the change in the weather really, and that the fact that it's going much lighter now, is a pair of sunglasses. So if you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I do almost all of my training early in the morning. So it's about 6:15 right now, and it's actually quite miserable. It's grey and a bit foggy, but I'm hoping the sun will come up at some point, so I've got the shades on. These aren't an expensive pair or anything like that. They're a cheap brand off Amazon. I think they cost about 20 quid, but that doesn't bother me at all. They're really good for what I need it for, and if I were to drop and break them, for example, I haven't lost 100 quid, something like that. And you'll also notice I've got some headphones on. So I've done a review of these on the channel before, and if I remember, I'll put a link in the cards to the review I did of them. I don't tend to listen. I take them on a run, but I don't necessarily use them every time. And if I do use them, I don't listen to music. It's podcasts I listen to generally. I don't want to, I don't know really, I don't like listening to music while I'm out running, but I do like listening to a podcast that I can really just zone out to and enjoy. But the thing is with podcasts with me, I want to actually be able to listen to them and not just have it as a bit of a background noise. So I tend to pause and play it throughout the run, depending on how I'm feeling. There's some days where I just want to run and enjoy nature and just hear what's going on around, in which case I won't bother playing anything through the headphones. But after a while you can't really tell that you're even wearing them, so I might as well bring them with me should I choose to wear them. At this point I'm only about 2.5k into the run, so do a bit more proper running, and then I'll catch up and talk about the running pack in a little bit. Okay, so that last kilometre ended up going a little bit quick, so I thought I'll do the next clip now as a way of slowing down a little bit. So let's move on to the running pack itself. See, I've got one on. This is a Salomon one, and I think it's the Active Skin 8. Not super cheap, but not ridiculous compared to some other packs. But this one's been great for me. It's nice and comfortable to wear, although I will say something that's been bothering me the last few times I've used it is that it tends to rub around by my collarbones, particularly this right hand side. So what I started doing is just putting a bit of Vaseline there, just to try and protect it a little bit. It's not like I'm out for hours and hours and hours, so even if it does start to rub, I can sort it out when I get home. It's not the end of the world. But I do like this one. It's got plenty of storage, got pockets either side. I can hold two 500ml flasks, which I'll talk about in a second, It's got room for a bladder in the back should I need it, and it doesn't move around too much, which is nice. That can get a little bit annoying after a while, I imagine, but I haven't had that problem with this one. Now, what do I carry in the pack? So for this length of run, I don't need tons of fuel. It's not going to be particularly hard, not doing intervals or anything like that. So I've got one 500ml flask, soft flask, in my right pocket here, and in that is a mix of a bit of squash, some maltodextrin and electrolytes. Now if you're thinking of doing the same, don't try and mix it all up in the flask itself. Just want to put that out there. Put it in a normal bottle, shake it up to mix it around, and then just squeeze it into the flask. It'll make your life a lot easier. 500ml for an hour and 40 may not sound a lot, but again, for this type of run, any more would probably be unnecessary. I haven't actually had any yet, and I'm nearly 5k in, so I just sip on it every now and then when I feel like I need it. So that flask is my main fuel source for this run, but I also bought two other things just in case. They're in my left pocket here. I'll see if I can get them out without dropping them. So we've got a fruit bar. I think I've talked about these in previous videos. I get these from Aldi. They're really nice. And they've got a decent amount of carbs in for something so small. And the reason I've brought that with me today is that they're particularly easy to eat, even when you're running. They only need a few chews, and then you can literally swallow the rest. Whereas if you take something like a dedicated energy bar, they're quite chewy, and you obviously want to be able to try and breathe while you're running as well. So that's the reason I brought that along. Let's see what else we got as well. If I can get out. So because I've got the carbs in my drink, I don't think I'll use either of these, but again, just the backup. And the other is a high five gel. I've found I've got on all right with high five gels in the past, but I don't know, the last few times I've used one hasn't felt quite right. So I don't think I'm going to use this today, but bought it just as a backup. But the potential stomach upset isn't actually the main reason I'm trying to avoid gels at the moment. It's more a case of they're just making an absolute mess. Now I may just be a clumsy oaf or something like that, but every time I try and use them, I just end up making a mess. I remember at the Bideford Half Marathon in March, I took 3 gels with me. Oh, pardon me. And yeah, got the gel all over my hands. End up using the water at the aid stations to try and wash them off, and your hands are really sticky, so I am trying to find an alternative to gels. I've got Outlaw Half Nottingham coming up soon, so for that I think I might just leave a soft flask in transition and carry that around with me, and then supplement with the on-course nutrition as well. They do use High Five. But then for Ironman Wales, which is in September, obviously it's double the distance of Outlaw, so I'm taking the time now to experiment with different things and find what works best for me. So yeah, at the moment I'm thinking I won't take gels, maybe an emergency backup option, but yeah, for now I'll try and avoid the gels. So whilst we're talking about the running pack, there's one more thing that I'm carrying, and that's my phone. Obviously I'd need it for the headphones, so it actually knows what to play. But I also carry it in my pocket here just as an emergency. So yeah, that's what's in my running pack. Not a lot, but again, relatively short long run. When I start my dedicated training for Wales after Outlaw, these long runs are going to get longer, so I'll inevitably have to pack some extra fuel to get me through those. Really looking forward to getting started with that. So yeah, that's my running pack. I'm going to crack on for a bit longer, enjoy this lovely North Devon scenery. I'm on the Tarka Trail right now, and then I'll catch up with you a bit later and show you what's actually on my feet. Okay, 50 minutes out, 50 minutes back. Okay, so I'm just over an hour into the run, another 40 minutes to go. So I thought I'd take this time to, just had a fly in my eye. That's why I should have my sunglasses on, even though it's not looking too great. Anyway, let's talk about what's on my feet. Obviously, a pair of socks, and the shoes I'm choosing to wear are the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3s. Now, if you saw my relatively recent video going through my shoe rotation for the year, you might remember that the Speed 3s weren't in there. The Speed 2s were, but not the 3s. Now, a bit of a story there. So I picked up the Adidas Takumi Sen 8s to use for speed work, and I used them 3 times, 3 different pairs of socks, and they rubbed my toe every single time. Even though I went half a size up, they felt really tight in the toe box, so I had to bite the bullet and sell them. Didn't lose too much on it, thankfully, because I got them on sale. So at that point I thought, rather than experiment with something else, I'll stick to what I know works. I got on really well with the Speed 3s, love them, probably the favourite shoe I've run in so far, and so thought, let's just get the Speed 3s. They're meant to be a bit better for me personally, in the sense that they offer a bit more stability compared to, pardon me, the Speed 2s. And I've run in them probably 3 or 4 times. They've been absolutely lovely. So I keep them for speed work, but because I love them so much and I find them so comfortable, I also wear them on my long runs like this. In fact, I'm tempted to pick up another pair just to keep aside when I see them on sale next time, because I love them so much. So that's my shoe choice to the long runs. I'm also wearing my Stride foot pod. I think I've mentioned this briefly in the past, but not got into too much detail about it. But it's essentially a way of running to power. Now, there's so much it can do, and I haven't explored anywhere near its full capabilities. But my initial thoughts are, if I didn't have it, I don't think I'd miss it. Yes, you can see what power you're running to, and what is quite nice is being able to see how much more power you're having to put in to overcome wind resistance. So that's quite a nice feature. But other than that, and the fact that it makes running on a treadmill more accurate, I haven't got a huge amount of use out of it, but I've got it now. I might as well use it. So I do look back at some of the stats afterwards. That is one thing. I am a bit of a geek when it comes to the data, so it's quite nice to look back and just look at little things. And you might have also noticed I'm not wearing a heart rate monitor, and the reason because I've had 3 different ones in the last few years from different brands, and they've all failed on me, in the sense that heart rate randomly drops out. So I was doing a bit of a half marathon, and my average heart rate for that was apparently 112. Now, I knew I'd built a decent amount of fitness up at that point, but definitely not that fit. So at that point I thought, let's send it back. It was still within the year's warranty, so I got a refund on that, and I haven't really bothered replacing it since. I almost just use the foot pod to gauge effort, and obviously power's an absolute figure like on the bike, so I'll just stick to looking at that, and of course my normal running pace. So yeah, that's everything that I typically carry on a long run. What time is it? 1:05, so got a little bit left to go home yet, but enjoying this run. Going a bit faster than I probably planned, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm feeling good, still able to talk to the camera. So yeah, I think we'll wrap this one up here. Hope you enjoyed this one. Again, let me know in the comments below, do you prefer this style of unscripted vloggy style content, or do you prefer to sit down in the garage and talk to the camera? Be really interested to hear your feedback, so if you could let me know, that'd be great. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far, and I'll catch you next time.